You can't beat me. Get ready.
Yes! Super Saiyan Vegeta. Finally. Oh yeah. That's right. Alright, and we are back with more Dragon Ball Legends. And we have that update, so we have plenty of things to do. Let's get through that story. Alright. Jumping right in. So, we have Part 2, Allies, the Ruthless Emperor. Allies with the Ruthless Emperor. I'm probably just not going to say that right ever. So, you guys just pretend I did. Please. For my sake. No. No, it's okay. You guys, I'm open to comments, criticisms, good or bad. I'm fine. I'm very mellow. I can take it. But be careful, because I can dish it out too. Alright, so here we go. Let's look at the rewards. Nice, okay. Clear without a single casualty. We could do that. Land a strike skill 3 times, key blast 3 times, dodge, rising KO, 2 reds, 2 blues. Okay, I think we can do this. It shouldn't be too tough. And let's go. Alright, so right off the bat, I have my 2 blues and I have 1 red. So I'll put Shallot in there instead, because I need 2 reds. So it's not really going to make a difference if I put Goku in there. I mean, yeah, it's 1 red, but it's not like it'll say, oh, 1 more, fight with 1 more red person. No, it's not. It's not like Jetpack Joyride, where you can just, you know, get halfway there and it counts. I haven't played that game in a long time. That's a good game. If you guys need a mobile game that you want to be able to get lost in, Jetpack Joyride. Such a great time killer. And it's pretty fun. I mean, it's pretty challenging. It's definitely challenging. You just gotta get used to it. Alright, enough talk. Here we go.
Can't beat me.
And we'll go with the ultimate. Yep. Now, computers don't fight the same way as players. They fight very differently. It's almost in a pattern. Like, it's like 3 different patterns that they go back and forth from that I've noticed. So they're somewhat predictable.
Alright, time to get serious.
But, you know, it's the story. I mean, there's not much you can say about it. They still want people to know what's going on. You have to be decent enough to get there. I remember Legacy of Goku for the Game Boy Advance. Now, Legacy of Goku 2 was a great game. It was challenging, it was tough, but it was really fun. Legacy of Goku 3, Boost Fury, was also a really good game. I wouldn't say they're hard, but they're definitely long. That's kind of where it can get difficult. But, man, Legacy of Goku, the first game, for me personally, it was actually a really difficult game. I had a lot of trouble. In fact, the furthest that I ever got was just getting to Namek. Which, I know, that's pretty bad. But, you know, it's not that easy. At least for me it wasn't. But, yeah. just so you guys know, I will be doing a series on the Dragon Ball series. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But I'm not gonna be stuck to one game. I wanna tell the whole story. So I'm gonna start with Dragon Ball Advanced Adventure. I'm gonna go right through the Legacy of Goku's into Boost Fury, and I'm gonna finish it with GT Transformation. So I'm in the middle of doing that. You'll be seeing some uploads pretty soon. Hopefully you guys like that. I know it's not like it's something you haven't seen before, but it'll be fun, at least for me. And you know, that's what YouTube is really about. It's about being able to create whatever you want just because you want to. Alright, the Black Cybermen, the Dark Cybermen, the Cybermen Black. They don't have a rosé form. No, it doesn't work that way. You know what? Let's go with Goku and Frieza. And that's all. That's all we're going to do. Yep, I know. They're at a higher level. But you know what? We could use the experience. Not the game experience, because they're both maxed out. But I could use the experience. Let's rephrase that in a way that it's true. I could really use the experience. Alright, here we go. Ooh. Goku, you shouldn't say, you can't really shout things when you're going to attack like that. I mean, if anyone's ever seen Dragon Ball Z, then everyone knows that if you say you're wide open, that pretty much means that you're going to attack. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but has Goku ever said the words "you're wide open" and then didn't attack someone? I rest my case. Alright, come on. Let's get some fists up in here. There we go. Let's give Frieza some time to play. You know, Goku can't fight his own granddaughter. It's not very fair. Or grandfatherly. And Frieza's kicking ass. And I'm going to shoot her with the pew-pews. Because, you know what? It's third form Frieza, and how can you not pew someone? Yeah, here we go. Pew, 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 pew. Oh yeah. Gotta finish with the pew-pews. That's a good one. What is... Huh. I noticed that there's that green bar underneath their experience that is going up. What is that? If anyone knows what that is, leave it in the comment section below and let me know, because... Doesn't look like anything I've ever seen, or at least not anything that I've ever noticed. Oof, did abysmal with that one. But that's okay. Here we go, story time. That's right. It's Boba. Hey, that's good. I was hungry. You know us Saiyans, we gots to eat. Freaking Goku. You know, Shallot, he's coming up pretty good in popularity. I can't wait to see him in a Xenoverse. I think that would be a really good thing to do, is to put Shallot in Xenoverse and to be able to learn his attacks and to get his costume. And I think that's a really cool idea. Xenoverse is not dead. I don't care what anyone says. I really like Xenoverse 2, and I like that they're putting more work into it. I like that they're fixing a lot of things that people have been asking for a long time. I like that they're still coming out with DLC. But I will say that I just kind of want Xenoverse 3 already. But at the same time, the more time that they don't release Xenoverse 3 is more time towards creating Xenoverse 3, which is important. I think Xenoverse 3 is a really important project to a lot of people, not just the game creators. Because in my personal opinion, the third Dragon Ball Z game has always been the pinnacle of perfection for Dragon Ball Z games at the time. I mean, you take Budokai. Budokai was an amazing game. It was casual with definite elements of competitive gameplay. And it was good. It was fairly true to the story, fairly true to the style. It was a really good game altogether. You know, definitely there weren't really hardcore Dragon Ball Z games back then. I mean, not like there is now. There was pretty much just Budokai and a handful of other games that were very different. So it was a pretty big step up. And then Budokai 2, oh man, they killed it with Budokai 2. Everything was just so much better. 100 times better. And then Budokai 3 came out, and I didn't think they could top it, and they did. I mean, everything, again, looked better. Everything felt better. There were mechanics that you think maybe could have been in Budokai 2, but wouldn't have worked very well, like the teleportation. And they just threw it into Budokai 3 perfectly. They didn't feel like it was rushed. They had a really good roster, really solid gameplay, and it was easy to pick up, but man, was it competitive. I mean, going through the story mode on Z difficulty, and then you find out that there's 2 more difficulties after that. Oh man, Z3, Kid Buu, fighting Kid Buu right before you beat the game. You're in that moment, he's got his energy flowing, you're Goku, you're in your base form, you don't know what's going on, you're like, am I gonna live, am I gonna die? And you know, the difficulty's on Z3, so he's all over the fucking place. And you're like, this is what it feels like to be in the Dragon Ball Z universe. And it was just love at first sight for me. That's when I knew that I would never be done with that game. That there's never going to be a point in my life where someone's like, hey, look, I have Xenoverse, or I have Budokai 3, let's play. And I won't be like, okay. I'll always, it may not be my first choice, but you know what? If it's there, if other people want to play it, I'll never say no. Which brings me to my second point. Tenkaichi 3. Tenkaichi 3 was awesome. Tenkaichi 1 blew people out of the water. It was so amazing. It was the first 3D game like that, with the 360 environment. So many good characters. Unfortunately, there wasn't transformation, but at the time, it was really hard to do that stuff. Oh yeah, there we go, Charlotte. Kick his ass. Anyways, but yeah, and then Tenkaichi 2 came out, and again, it was actually, I want to say that Tenkaichi 2 was a lot better than Tenkaichi 1, as where Budokai 2 was only a little bit better than Budokai 1. Like the jump it's a bigger jump compared to those, which I find is kind of funny, because the jump between Budokai 2 and 3 I feel is very big, but the jump between Tenkaichi 2 and 3 is not as big, yet there is a lot of stuff that makes Tenkaichi 3, in my opinion, the best Tenkaichi installment. So good. Now I will say there were things that in Tenkaichi 2 that just didn't come back in the third one, and it was amazing, so I don't know why it didn't come back in the third one. But, let's go with, Vegeta. But, oh, I lost my train of thought. Anyways, my main point is that the third installments have always been really good. Raging Blast. If Raging Blast had a third installment, I bet it would have been amazing. And for those of you who have seen Project Raging Blast 3, yeah, that pretty much turned into Xenoverse, just so everyone knows. That's what Namco Bandai did with all of that information. And we got it. We got the game that everyone worked so hard for. We got the game that everyone was supporting. That's Xenoverse. That's what it is. People just don't get it because it's in a different skin. It's not Raging Blast 3. The guy, Noel, I forget his name, the guy who was the lead on everything for Raging Blast 3, wasn't a part of, I mean, he was a small part of Xenoverse, but, I mean, sorry, just a little bit distracted. But that's just the way it works, you know? You can't take into account what everyone wants all the time. You gotta put something out there, or no one's gonna get it. I mean, if they took all their time making the perfect Dragon Ball Z game, then it could be years just to make one game, and then they're done. They don't need to make another one because it's perfect. But you know what? Honestly, Xenoverse 2 is amazing. And if I could put in just a few things to make it better, I would. And what I think Xenoverse 2 would really benefit from, just one small, tiny little thing. And no, it's not making your hair spiky when you turn Super Saiyan, or, you know, something like that. It's a little bit more important than that. But I was thinking what would be really cool is if we could put our own custom auras on our characters. You know, change the color, change the style, and to be able to do so for your transformations as well. I think that would be really cool. I think it would cause a lot more people that want to play, because they really can make their ultimate character that they just see in their head.
Cut your losses while you can.
And another thing that I think would really benefit from, that Xenoverse 2 would really benefit from, is maybe I don't really know how to put it in words. I guess, yeah, like a mentoring system, but not for specific attacks. I was thinking more of fight animations. Like, give us the ability to train with someone so we can have their specific fighting style. I mean, could you imagine? I mean, you go and you train with Goku and you learn the Kamehameha, you learn the Spirit Bomb, the Kaioken, all that good stuff. But you're still fighting like a barbaric Saiyan? I mean, that's like... I think a lot of people would love to be able to see that change in their character. To see that their progression, that they've, you know... And that could even be the last thing. You know, the last thing that you learn from your master is to equip their fighting style to your character. And you know what? There's a lot of good that could happen from that. And you know what's even better? There's a lot of funny things that could happen with that. Could you imagine a little tiny character like a Chaozu clone that someone makes, and they give him Broly's fighting style? That would be hilarious. Seeing that little tiny guy drag people across the stage and chuck them by their face. I mean, come on, that would be funny. That would be really cool. You could actually make your own God of Destruction, because he would fight like a God of Destruction. It wouldn't just be the attacks. You could make your own Frieza race character. They could fight like Frieza, Cooler, and or whoever.
My apologies for the
Frost. Pew, 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 pew. There we go. Uh-oh. Yep. Got the yellow pew-pews. Come on. But yeah, I think there's so much more they could do with Xenoverse. And you know what else I always wanted in a Xenoverse game? 2 very specific races. I think that a Supreme Kai race would be very cool. You could have attacks that mostly Supreme Kais know. I guess your stats would be kind of close to Namekian, with the healing and the defense. But maybe you could also have an emphasis on physical power or energy as well. Not just a tank, but also a striking specialist. I think that would be really cool. Maybe even having better support than even humans. Because I know I don't really play as a human in that game, but I do know that they are more geared towards support. Well, maybe not more than the Namekian, but at least just as much. But yeah, and what else I would really like to see is a general alien race. Something that takes all of the character customization options and puts it into one. Obviously you won't have Super Saiyan because you're not a Saiyan. But you could have a powered up form, you could have a buff form, you could have a form that changes the color of your energy, small things like that. They could even call it potential unlocked, or full power, or even both. Oh, well, I guess potential unlocked is already a thing that anyone can get, so that doesn't really matter. But, bulk up, something like that. Like, that could be its own transformation. And basically, you'd be able to use, you could make a guy with a Cyberman head and a Frieza feet and Cell's tail and, Boo's head thing. Just all go crazy, go random, all kinds of crazy things. Hair, no hair, gummy hair, horns, veins, wings, tails, just make your perfect character. And they would be able to learn almost every attack, and I think that if they went that route, that would be the perfect neutral character with no buffs, just no drawbacks. Everything is equal. Everything is just a perfect balance. Because, everyone's going to want to make their own character, so we can't give them too much of an edge. So obviously they won't be able to do the golden form or Super Saiyan or to turn giant or to turn into a Kid Buu. But they could probably get the Nimbus and the staff, the power pole. They could definitely get Kaioken and all that good stuff. And Kaioken, that could be a transformation that is, if you're a Supreme Kai, the Kaioken technique is a much better transformation. It doesn't depower you. It doesn't turn off like it does for everyone. It doesn't run on your stamina like it does for everyone else. I think that it would be fair to, when you're in Kaioken, if you're a Supreme Kai race and you're in your Kaioken transformative state, maybe your stamina could be worth less. So, you know, you dodge or you do something that takes stamina, it takes more of it. But because you're a Kai, it doesn't drain it like it does for any other race. I think that would be a really good idea. Alright, and just like last time, let's do some PvP. Let's see how far we get. PvP. Alright. Let's do this. Now, I feel like I've been getting a little bit better. And of course I say that and a Broly comes in. No, I'm not too worried about it, honestly. Broly is scary. It's intimidating. I mean, at any Dragon Ball Z game, especially when Broly first is introduced, because it's not like they introduce him late in the game when you can beat him easily. I mean, where would be the fun in that? So when you're in a Dragon Ball Z game and you see characters for the first time like Broly, or, you know, full power Frieza, or anything like that, you think to yourself, even for a moment, like, ooh, hoo, hoo, that we have a contender here. And that's, maybe it's just me. Maybe I just like Dragon Ball too much. But you know what? That's what I live for. Especially in Dragon Ball Z games. If I can get that feeling of when I'm fighting, just getting lost in the fight and thinking, oh man, this guy is tough. What am I going to do? That is something, oh shoot. Oh, I still did better. That's good. I think that's something that really works for the game, especially in a game like Dragon Ball Z. Because you could use that as a tactic, you know? Go into a fight and people know you're good and then you choose Broly and it's like, oh, it's just that little bit extra. Like, ooh, that guy's really good. And now he's going to use Broly? Oh man, I'm scared. Like, that's what happens. At least that's what happens in my head. Like, if you're good at Dragon Ball Z games and you pull out Broly, Cell, the Golden Frieza, Kid Buu, like, these things affect the way I fight. I mean, if you don't know what you're doing, and I think that you're a threat because you chose a character like Kid Buu, then you're going down. Because I'm gonna go at you really hard. I'm gonna go all in. I'm not gonna let up because you chose Kid Buu. You must know how to fight. Oh no. Oh, he got me. Okay, I only have one character left, so I gotta be a little smart here. Just a little bit. Come on. There we go. He's gonna shoot me a few times. Shoot him. Oh, no, didn't work. Let's get a Rising Rush in and see if I can get this on him. Do some Ki blasts. Da, 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 da. Nice. Oh, Shell kind of reminds me of like a young Bardock or something. Does anyone else get that vibe? Like, he comes off really Bardock-y. Like, he could shoot. Got distracted. Come on. There we go. There we go. Got it. And there we are. Rank 7. So I'm going to end it right here. Had a lot of fun. This was great. Getting to rank 7.